today we'll discuss about soil fertility evaluation and its diagnostic techniques. Okay, so today's lecture is about soil fertility evaluation and its diagnostic technique. Okay, yesterday we have discussed what is soil fertility. Yes or no? It is the ability or capacity of the soil to supply the available form of the nutrients to the plants for the growth and development of the plant. Yes or no? Okay. So now today we will discuss what is the evaluation. Means soil fertility evaluation. How to evaluate the soil fertility means indirectly we are evaluating the ability or capability of the soil to supply nutrients. Okay. Means power of supply. Okay, we will evaluate the power of supply by the soil. Okay, so soil fertility evaluation is nothing but we are determining the power of supply of the soil to the plant. Okay, so invariably, initially in the soil there will be some amount of nutrients. Yes or no? Some amount of reserve nutrients will be there in the soil. So from that reserve nutrients, that nutrient will be supplied to the plant and the plant will uptake that nutrient and it will grow. Additionally, we will add a fertilizer source through fertilizer, whether it may be organic or inorganic. Okay, so these two sources if we will add, and what is the effect of this nutrient to the plant, and also when we should apply, when we should apply. Okay, when the power of the soil will decrease, when the power of soil will decrease means there will be deficient or reduction in the pool of nutrients. Okay, previously suppose there is a 100 milligram of nutrients was there. After some years it has been decreased to 20 milligrams. Okay, which is insufficient to grow a plant. In that case or at that point of time, we should apply the fertilizer source. So when we should apply the fertilizer source, when there will be required in the soil to supply to the plant. So next one is how we will determine the proper rate of plant nutrient required by the plant. Proper rate. It should not be haphazard. Okay. For example, if you are hungry, okay, I should give you that much amount of food which can satisfy your hungry. If I'll give you more food, what will happen? Indigestion. Okay, what will happen? Indigestion. You will be unable to digest. Okay, so like that, we should apply that much amount of nutrient to the soil, how much it is required. For that reason, we are doing soil testing. Yes or no? We're going for soil testing. Okay, so like that. So what are the techniques exist to determine the proper rate of plant nutrient required by the plant? Okay, or how much amount of nutrient is required to the soil, okay, to supply the plant. Okay, so based on two main things it has been decided. One is what is the nutrient amount required by a crop. It varies with crop to crop. For example, rice required 80 kg of nitrogen. It will be not the same case when you go for a pulse crop. Okay, it will be reduced to 20 kg. Okay, that is the initial dose for the leguminous crop. Okay, so nutrient amount required by the crop. Okay, so how much amount of nutrient is required by a crop? By seeing that, we will go for the rate. Okay, rate of application. One more is supply power of the soil. Supply power of the soil. Based on these two things, the diagnostic techniques concept has been come up. Okay, so there are mainly four diagnostic technique exist. Okay, one is nutrient deficiency symptom. Okay, nutrient deficiency symptom, NDS. Okay, second one is plant analysis. Plant analysis, that is nothing but tissue analysis or cell sap analysis. Okay, third one is biological test. Okay, what are the biological tests are there by which we can know that there is a requirement of the nutrient in the soil, so that we go for the application. Fourth one is soil testing. Okay, fourth one is soil testing. So these the four diagnostic technique exist to determine the rate of application, okay, to the soil. So let's discuss one by one this diagnostic technique. So first diagnostic technique is nutrient deficiency symptom. Nutrient deficiency symptom. Okay. So there is a three terminology is there. One is nutrient. Yesterday only I told you. Okay. Nutrient will be essential. Okay. So for any growth and development of any living thing, we require food in the form of nutrients. So plants require food in the sense of nutrients, in the form of nutrients. Okay. For example, we need food. Okay. Food has contain a lot of compounds of chemical compounds. Okay. Which is required for a body. That is the external things we require. Okay. So plants required in the form of nutrients for the growth and development and to fulfill its life cycle. Okay. The first criteria of essentiality is to complete its life cycle. Okay. Deficiency is nothing but when there will be a level and it will be decreased, so that there will be some abnormalities will be created. Okay. Suppose there is a water level, okay, in a well. Okay. If that water level will be maintained, it will be sufficient for a family. Okay. For example, 500 liter. For example, 500 liter is sufficient for a family. Okay. Suppose that level will be decreased to 100 liter, then it will be very difficult to sustain that family. Yes or no? So there will be deficient in the water level, which will be affect one family. That is nothing but your symptom. Okay. When there will be abnormality in a sufficient level, okay, when there is a abnormality in a sufficiency level, there will be create another abnormality in the, whether it is a anatomical or physical. Okay, whether it may be inside it will be so, or it will be outside it will be so. Okay, so the symptom will be arise. Okay, symptoms are mainly visible symptom. Okay, some symptoms mainly the nutrients, we can identify a nutrient deficiency by seeing the visible symptoms. Okay, so mainly what are the symptoms we observe? What are the common symptoms? The first one is chlorosis, second one is necrosis, third one is wilting, okay, fourth one is stunting, okay, fifth one is incomplete metabolism, okay, is nothing but improper growth of cell constituent. Okay. Sixth one is delay in maturity. Okay, so there are various type of symptoms we observe when there will be some nutrient deficiency. Okay, on this concept, there is two terms invariably is to come. Okay, so one is hidden hunger. So hidden hunger means, okay, for example, I am feeling hungry, but I hide it. I need food, but I hidden. Okay, what does that mean? If I hide my hunger for a longer period of time, I will die. Okay, the plants, some plants used to do the same. Okay, there will be a requirement or need of food, need of nutrient. Okay, but they will not show any symptom. They will not show any deficiency symptom. Okay, so there will be requirement or need of nutrient in the plant. Okay, but they will not show any deficiency symptom. That is called as hidden hunger, which is more dangerous. Okay, more dangerous. Okay, because after seeing some symptoms only, we will think that we shall go for the any application of any fertilizer source. If there will be no any deficient symptom, this is very hard to identify that any deficient symptom is there or not. Okay, so hidden hunger means there will be need of nutrient. Okay, but there will be no so any deficient symptom, so that it will be very difficult to identify whether there is a deficiency of nutrient or not. So next one is luxury consumption. Opposite to this, luxury consumption. So luxury consumption means a plant will uptake the nutrients level more than the enough. Okay, suppose recommended is 5 milligram. Okay, in the plant, it will take 5 milligram in addition to 5 more gram. Okay, so mainly if it will happen, there will be a chance of toxicity. Yes or no? There will be a chance of toxicity, but the toxicity will not show in this case. Toxicity will not show. Okay, in case of luxury consumption, the nutrient will be taken uptake by the plant in addition to the sufficiency level, but there will be no toxicity symptom. Okay, so this is seen in potassium. Okay, potassium will be taken if potassium will be taken more than the sufficiency level, but still there will be no toxicity symptom in the plants. Okay, so these two terms based on the nutrient deficiency symptom coming to the exist. Okay, so next diagnostic technique is plant analysis. Okay, plant analysis. Okay, in case of plant analysis, let me first tell what it shows. Okay, or why we should take plant analysis means. Okay, first of all, it will show that how much amount of nutrients uptake by the plant. Okay, suppose we are doing an experiment and we want to know that how much amount of nutrients will be uptake by the plant. Suppose we have applied 100 kg urea. Okay, we have applied 100 kg urea. If we'll apply to the soil, how much amount of nitrogen has been taken up by the plant? Okay, so how much will apply, how much will be uptake? That's the difference we can know, and how much amount of nitrogen has been lost through various losses, whether it may be leaching losses, whether it may be denitrification losses, whether it may be volatilization losses. Okay, whether it may be some adsorption. Okay, then that is the some factors will be affected, so there will be some losses. Okay, so by the plant analysis we can conclude that this much amount of nutrient we applied, this much amount of nutrient has been taken by the plant, and this much amount of nutrient has been lost. Okay, by this we can calculate the efficiency, nutrient use efficiency. We can calculate nutrient use efficiency. By controlling this factor, we can increase the nutrient use efficiency. Okay, before you go for plant analysis, which part of the plant you should choose? If someone will ask you, you have to answer that recently matured leaf is used for the testing. Okay, for the plant analysis, we require recently matured leaf. Then when to test? Okay, full bloom to fruiting stage. Okay, that to be early fruiting stage. Okay, full bloom means flowering to fruiting stage, early fruiting stage. In this stage, we should go for plant analysis. Okay, so for plant analysis, we should go for choosing the recently matured leaf, and when we should go for that is full bloom to the fruiting stage, early fruiting stage. So the first procedure in the plant analysis, you should choose means we should collect the plant sample, collect the plant sample. Okay. Second step is make it dry. Okay. Third is grind it. Okay. Fourth one is digestion in the acid mixture. Okay. Fifth one is analysis. The next method is or next diagnosis technique is DRIS. Okay. DRIS, the full form is or the abbreviation of DRIS is diagnosis, recommendation, integrated system. Okay. So the abbreviation itself telling the meaning of the DRIS technique, that is you have to diagnose of what? The problem. Problem is nothing but here the nutrient problem, the cause. What is the cause of deficiency of any nutrient and the cause of decreasing yield? Okay. Then diagnosis, we should go for recommendation. For example, there is a there we have diagnosed that there is a nitrogen deficiency in the plant. Then we should go for N fertilizer. And how much amount of N fertilizer? Rate is most important. Okay, the dose is most important in case of the dose is most important here to fulfill the requirement. Okay, to fulfill the requirement of any crop, the dose is most important. Excess the dose, it will be a loss for us. Okay, or it will increase the cost of cultivation. Okay, how much amount of nutrient required by the plant, that much amount of nutrient we should supply, not more than that, not less than that. Then the most important part is biological test. Okay, so in case of biological test, two main things are involved, that is higher plants, higher plants and microorganisms. Microorganisms. Okay, so let's discuss what are the biological tests has been conducted to diagnose whether there is a nutrient deficiency is there and when we should go for the application. Okay, so the first one is mixture leach pot culture method. Okay, so the scientist Mr. Less conducted a pot culture experiment to diagnose whether there is a requirement of nutrient or not. Okay, so he conducted on the crop oats. Okay, he took higher plants oats. Okay, he conducted 10 pots. Okay, like this 10 pots with different treatments. Okay, with different treatments. Okay, he took like he took the combination like NP, PK, KN. Okay, like this he went on like this of combination and he conducted and he's compared with the NPK. Okay, he compared with the NPK, that is control. Okay, So he took the yield level of NP or PK or KN like that. Means how much yield increment is there as compared to the NPK. Okay. For example, NPK yield is 80 gram in a pot. Okay. And NNP yield is 60 gram. Okay. So what is the yield or percentage of yield increment? It will be 60 by divided by 80 into 100. 75%. So by taking this, he has made a table. Okay. Based on that table value, people can go for the recommendation of the NPK and fertilizers. The next technique is new buyer seedling method. Okay. So what it did, he took a pot with small amount of soil, small amount of soil. Okay. But he grows the seedling a high number. Okay. Higher number of seedling he grown in that small amount of soil in a small pot. So what will happen? The nutrient uptake will be more and the nutrient will be exhausted in the soil within a short period of time. Within a short time, because if there is more number of people, there will be the frequency of the decrease will be increased. Okay, the frequency will be increased. Okay, so within a short period of time, the nutrients level or the occurrence of the exhaustion will be fast. Okay, so in a pot, he took the small amount of soil, okay, and he grown more number of seedling, so that what will happen within a short period of time there will be exhaust of the nutrients in the soil. Okay, then he took the plant sample and did the chemical analysis. Okay, so in how many days this nutrient will be exhaust. Okay, so based on that he prepared one table and recommended that at this point of time we should go for this amount of fertilizer. Okay, so this method has been used for calcium, phosphorus and potassium and also some micronutrients. Okay, so this method is useful for to evaluate calcium, phosphorus, potassium and some micronutrients. Okay, the next or third technique is Sackett and Stewart technique. Okay, they have used the microbes. They've used the microbes. Okay, which microbes? Azotobacter. They have done this based on the principle of Winogradsky method. Okay, Winogradsky method. Okay, so what they did, they took three pot. Okay, they took three pot. Okay, in one pot they've added P. In another pot they've added potassium. Another they've added both Kp. Okay, then they inoculated Azotobacter. Okay, they have inoculated the Azotobacter. Okay, and they have gone for the incubation of 72 hours. They have incubated this pods in the incubation for 72 hours. After 72 hours, taken the soil sample. Okay, and they have gone for the plating and calculated the colonies. Okay, how many number of colonies are exist in the P applied soil, how many number of colony in K applied soil and Kp applied soil. Okay, so or based on this colony number, they have prepared one table. So by seeing that table, you will go for the application of the fertilizers. So the next technique is aspergillus niger given by Mehlich. Okay, so he used the organism that is aspergillus niger. Okay, he took like this only flask. Okay, the previous technique is used for P and K both. Okay, but mostly the technique is used for determination of P content, and in case of aspergillus niger, and that is mainly technique, is mostly used for potassium absorption. How much amount of potassium has been absorbed by the soil. Okay, so he also took the small amount of soil, okay, in a flask, okay, then incubated for 4 days. Okay, they have incubated it for 4 days. Okay, then they calculated the mycelial growth. Okay, they have taken the weight of the mycelial growth. Okay, what is the weight of the mycelial growth in the flask after 4 days? Okay, so based on this, they have prepared one table. Okay, like if the weight is less than 1.4. Okay, if the weight of the flask is less than 1.4, then the K absorption is less than 12.5. Okay, less than 12.5. Then the degree of deficiency is very deficient. Okay, if the weight of the flask is less than 1.4, then the K absorption is less than 12.5 in 100 gram of soil. Okay, and the degree of deficiency is very deficient. If the weight is 1.4 to 2, okay, if the weight is 1.4 to 2, the degree of absorption of potassium in 100 per 100 gram soil is 12.6 to 16.6. Okay, and the degree of deficiency is moderate. If it is more than 2, then it is more than 16.6 and it is not deficient. Okay, so based on this weight of the asparagus niger mycelial growth, if it is less than 1.4, then potassium absorption per 100 gram of soil, if less than 12.5, very deficient. 1.4 to 2, it will be 12.6 to 16.6, moderate. Less than more than 2, that is more than 16.6, and it will be not deficient. Okay, then the next technique is Mehl is the same scientist, Kunin Gamela plaque technique. Okay, it is mostly used for diagnosis the P. Okay, diagnosis the P. Okay, so in this technique, they have used the clay dish. Okay, in the middle of the clay dish, you have to inoculate the nutrient solution. Okay, nutrient solution, and you have to inoculate the microorganism. Okay, after inoculation, you should go for the incubation of 4.5 days. Okay, so after incubation of this whole thing up to 4.5 days, what will happen? The mycelial growth will be occur. Okay, according to the radius of the growth of the mycelium, okay, it will tell that the peak content of the soil. Okay, then the next technique is sunflower pod culture. Okay, sunflower pot culture technique. Okay, so as you know that this technique is used for to know the boron. Okay, for application of boron, we need to go for sunflower pot culture technique. Okay, today I applied a boron fertilizer. Okay, so how many days after the symptoms appear? After how many days of application of any boron source, the symptoms appear. Based on that, this deficiency level has been decided. Okay, for example, suppose a soil is fully deficient, so the deficiency symptom will appear very soon. Okay, if it is moderate, the deficiency symptom will appear in the some 5 to 6 days. If there is a more sufficiency level, the deficiency symptom will appear very late. Okay, so based on that, the deficiency level has been divided into marked deficiency, moderate, and most deficient. The last technique is A value technique. The last technique is A value technique, and it has been given by Fried and Dean. They have used the isotopes. to recognize the nutrient level in the soil. Okay, so they have used the isotope, for example, P32 they have used. Okay, so P32 will be diagnosed that what is the amount of nutrient is available in the soil. Okay, by this um, we can go for the application of any fertilizers. Okay, so they have given one formula A is equal to B into 1 minus Y by Y. Okay, whereas A is available soil nutrient. Okay, this is the total amount of nutrient which is available in the soil. B is external source or external source of nutrient we applied. Y is uptake by the plant. It is the amount of nutrient which has been uptaken by the plant. Okay, so A is equal to B into 1 minus Y by Y, whereas A is the available soil nutrient, where B is external source of fertilizer which we apply. Y is uptaken by the plant. Okay, the amount of nutrient which is uptaken by the plant. If we are applying the fertilizer, for example, I applied 100 gram of fertilizer. Okay, so after that 100 gram soil, what is available for the plant, what is really uptaken by the plant. Okay, this relation we can know. Okay, out of this 100 gram, what is the amount of nutrient is really available to the plant. From that real available to the plant, how much amount of nutrient has been uptaken by the plant. So this relation we can know by using the isotope. Okay,